I want to talk about the science of micro-momentum today, because in just 5 seconds, you can change your entire life. And that might sound far-fetched, but stay with me because we're going to dive into some very interesting concepts. When you think about the word momentum, you probably think of something big, like the momentum of a speeding train or the momentum of a rock rolling down a hill. Momentum is the tendency for an object to keep moving. But momentum isn't only about large objects like rocks or trains. It also applies to our actions as humans. For example, if you're in the middle of mowing the lawn and you stop to take a break, you've built up some momentum towards mowing the lawn. So when you start up again, you can quickly get to the end because you were already halfway done and things were moving. But if you were halfway through washing the dishes and you stopped, it wouldn't be very hard to get back into it because you can kind of just put it off to the side and come back to it later. That is why we don't have nearly as much momentum towards washing the dishes as we do mowing the lawn. Now, let's take this a step further and apply it to something bigger than chores. Let's say you had the goal of getting in shape. Well, the first time you go to the gym, you might feel pretty overwhelmed. There are so many different things to do and learn. And if you don't know what you're doing, it can be easy to get discouraged and even injured. But you push through it, and after a few times you get the hang of it, and you find a workout routine that works for you, and maybe even make some new friends at the gym. Now you have some momentum towards working out regularly. And if you keep working out regularly, you'll start to see results. You'll lose weight, feel better about yourself, and have more energy. All of these positive outcomes will build up and add to your momentum. But let's say life gets busy and you miss a few days here and there. Don't worry, that's normal, and it doesn't mean you failed. It's just a little bump in the road. Just get back into it and keep moving forward. If you continue to work out, then you'll eventually be back on track again. But if you stop working out altogether, then you'll gradually lose all the momentum that you built up. And before you know it, you'll be right back where you started. Now, let's talk about how you can use the science of micromomentum to change your life in just 5 seconds. The key is to focus on building small amounts of momentum every day towards the things that matter most to you. This can be something simple like making your bed in the morning or brushing your teeth twice a day. These are tiny habits that don't require much effort, but over time they add up and create big results. For example, if you make your bed in the morning, that's one less thing that you have to worry about later on. And studies have shown that people who make their beds in the morning are more likely to have a higher quality of sleep. Brushing your teeth not only keeps your mouth healthy, but it can also boost your confidence and prevent bad breath. But how do you actually change your life in just 5 seconds? Well, it all starts with setting goals. You need to figure out what you want to achieve, whether that's losing weight, improving your relationships, or starting a business. Once you know what you want, you need to break it down into small steps. For example, if your goal is to lose 20 pounds, don't try to do it all at once. Instead, break it down into smaller goals like exercising 3 times a week or cutting out soda from your diet. Then, you need to identify the habits that will help you achieve those goals. For example, if your goal is to exercise 3 times a week, then habits like going to the gym or running in the morning would be helpful. If your goal is to cut out soda, then habits like drinking more water or carrying a water bottle with you everywhere you go would be beneficial. The key is to focus on just a few habits at a time. You don't want to try and change everything all at once because that's a recipe for disaster. Pick 1 or 2 habits that you want to focus on and make them your own. Once you've mastered those habits, then you can move on to others. You may be wondering, how does this relate to the 5-second rule? Well, it's simple. It takes about 5 seconds to perform each habit. For example, it takes about 5 seconds to make your bed, brush your teeth, or drink a glass of water. These small habits don't require a lot of time or effort, but they add up over time. For example, if you make your bed every morning, that's 365 days a year. If you brush your teeth twice a day, that's 730 times a year. If you drink a glass of water every day, that's 365 glasses of water a year. These small habits become very powerful over time. So, how do you actually change your life in just 5 seconds? By focusing on building small amounts of momentum every single day. The key is to start small and set realistic goals for yourself. Don't try to do too much too fast because that's a great way to burn yourself out. Instead, focus on just 1 or 2 habits at a time and make them your own. For example, if you want to improve your fitness level, then start by setting a goal to exercise for just 5 minutes a day. You can do this by walking around the block or doing some bodyweight exercises at home. Once you're able to do this consistently, then you can slowly increase the amount of time that you spend exercising. Another great way to build momentum is to find an accountability partner. This could be a friend, family member, or even a personal trainer. Having someone to check in with can help you stay motivated and on track with your goals. If you're trying to build a new habit like reading more, then set a goal to read just 1 page a day. Find a comfortable place to read and set a specific time each day to pick up your book. Over time, you'll gradually build up your reading habit, and you may even find yourself reading more than you originally planned. It's important to remember that building new habits and breaking old ones takes time. Don't get discouraged if you slip up. Just get back on track and keep moving forward. Celebrate your successes along the way and be patient with yourself. Now, let's look at some real-life examples of how this can be applied. Let's say you want to be more productive. Instead of trying to tackle a huge project all at once, break it down into smaller tasks that you can complete in just 5 seconds. For example, make a list of the top 3 things that you need to accomplish that day. Set a timer for 5 seconds and see how much of the list you can complete in that time. You might be surprised at how much you can get done. Let's say you want to be kinder to others. Start by complimenting someone every day. It only takes a few seconds to tell someone that you appreciate them, and it can make their day. You can also donate to charity or volunteer your time. Even just 5 seconds of your time can make a difference. Let's say you want to be more creative. Start by coming up with 1 new idea every day. This could be anything from a new invention to a new way of doing things around the house. You never know what kind of ideas you may come up with. By following the science of micro-momentum, you can achieve big things without feeling overwhelmed. It all starts with setting small goals and working towards them consistently. In just 5 seconds, you can make a small step towards achieving your dreams. So don't wait. Start today and see where you'll be in 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years.